Hey, hope you're doing well. Let's go see what I was up to in the month of January. For the first 10 days of January, I focused on creating this decision tree. What it is essentially just a bunch of if statements that are like, if you are taking this medication, then your fall risk will increase by this percent. And if you're taking that medication, let's then look at your blood pressure. If your blood pressure is within this range, then your fall risk increases by this percent. Now let's look at your gait imbalance. If your gait imbalance is at this level, then I should be calling for help. So essentially just a bunch of if statements that let us know in real time if we should be calling for help when, we're looking to predict the fall. So this is a picture. If, you're more of a visual person, I can walk through a specific example. One of the examples is with bed height. So, if we see that the bed is really high compared to the length of your lower leg, we'll then ask if you're getting up from bed. So this is something that we're going to be constantly looking at. Is this person getting out of bed, or is there movement in the bedroom area between this time and this time? And if they're getting out of bed, the next question is, do they have enough strength to get out of bed? If the answer is no, then, it says go help them. But in the case that they have enough muscle strength, then, we just continue asking the question, are they getting out of bed? So that's kind of an example of the decision tree that we were first creating for the first 10 days of January. Then I talked to Safika Kar. She's the director of care at Generations, which is the home that we did the pilot at. And I realized a couple of things. Before, we were looking to create this product that would be like, hey, this person is going to fall. Like, let's go help them, sit them down, make sure that they get better, and then get them back up. But we realized a couple things. One, sitting someone down isn't a good way to prevent the fall because they're just going to get right back up and their balance is going to be the same, their muscle strength is going to be the same. And so we realized that our technology was ineffective in that portion. The second thing that we realized is homes actually already within the first 2 months do this trial and error process where residents will fall and they'll automatically through just human observation figure out interventions to put into place to prevent further falls after the 2 months. So they actually already do this type of fall prevention, I guess you could say, or intervention. And then the third thing that we realized is when you go into assisted living care, which is the home that Generations is, it's a mix of assisted living as well as independent. You're at this stage of your life where there's about 18 months left and you're trying to optimize for comfort. You're not trying to exactly optimize for making sure you don't fall. Some residents will actively choose to walk without their walker so that they get every last second of the ability to walk, or they'll eat a samosa even though they know they're going to choke when they should be eating soft food, just because they want to feel the taste and the texture of the samosa. And so it was this realization that I had that was I actually don't understand our user well enough. And I was I just need to talk to more people. I need to get a better understanding of the user base and falls in the home. And so then I spent the last 2 weeks of January, every single working day of the week, meeting with either a clinical director, director of care, someone who is physical therapist, or innovation director at a retirement home. And I actually made a deck that outlined what I learned as well as how we're going to be moving forward. I won't ask you to go through the entire deck because it is kind of long, but I'll give you the quick, too long, didn't read. The first thing that we learned is that in the homes, a lot of the reasons why people fall is because of something that, homes called being old or, aging. And according to the CDC, falls aren't even a normal process of aging. What we realized is a lot of these falls will happen, but there is a way to prevent them. It's just that homes don't see it as something that's preventable. They see it as something that's, the resident population is getting old and therefore it's bound to happen. And this kind of goes into my second point, which is if we're going to create a product, we can't just, say, hey, this person is going to fall. We need to do some sort of intervention and add prevention to make sure that they don't fall. So whether it's, working with the physical therapist to implement a plan to make sure that they're, continuously going to class or, continuously increasing muscle strength, etc., we need to add a prevention piece. What we were doing before with our product was not enough. It doesn't even solve the problem. It just says, hey, this person's going to fall, but I need to do something to make sure that they don't actually fall again. We can still have that piece there that says, hey, they're going to fall as a fail-safe, but the main value proposition of the product should actually be some sort of intervention program or some sort of piece of technology that, helps increase their wellness to, reduce the amount of falls, something that makes their balance better, their gait better, something that makes sure that they're reducing their fall risk constantly every single day. That's where the actual value add is. In the deck, I also talk about competitors in the space, other companies that are, working on fall prevention, prediction, and I also talk about their gaps. So definitely check it out. I'll link it down below. You can check it out. If you have any feedback, let me know. I know this might not have been the update that you were looking for. You might have been looking for something more technical, but I just realized that I didn't want to be building something that I didn't know if the user wanted. I need to take the step backwards, or else I would have just been going down a rabbit hole of building without not actually knowing that I was going to create value. For the month of February, now it's going to be something more technical. We're going to have to figure out how it is that we actually add some sort of intervention to constantly be reducing fall risk. One example is I was meeting with this guy named Brad Manner. He's a Harvard researcher, and what him and his team worked on is essentially using brain stimulation to increase your gait and balance to reduce fall risk. That's a really interesting, piece of technology that we could potentially use. So I'm having more meetings with researchers to see what are, the new methods to actually reduce fall risk in real time. And then also still going to be working on the technology I talked about last month regarding putting insoles into the foot so that we can be constantly measuring, your fall risk, etc. And so I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. But that's all from me for the month of January. I'll see you guys at the end of February. Bye.